Alright, check this out, guys. So I'm gonna test this LED bar here in the car. Not yet plugged up because I didn't get the right bracket, so I didn't start on it. And then I'm gonna plug my ground and wiring to a switch over there. It's hanging out. And then this is what I did to the let's see. Alright, check this out. So what I was saying, this is the front LED bar wiring remote switch. Of course, you got the ground is all plugged in. I'll show you where I cut it right there, bolted in. As long as I get this remote wire connected to one of the plugs, showing you right there, I can turn on the bar light in the front, which is that switch. It'll turn on. But I realized if I had the battery wire, the ground for the reverse lights, I seen inside the light was still on, but these guys weren't. And even if I unplug the remote wire, it will still stay on. I unplug the switch battery terminal to the switch, it still stays on. So I'm confused. I'm gonna see what I can do to it to fix it, where I can just have it off, on, off, on. I've seen both lights stay on. If I unplug this battery, the bottom light turns off, but the top stays on. So this is the ground that stays on. These guys are off. If I had the car just straight to the battery, these excuse me, these this main wire would turn this guy on. If I plug him in, I can use this switch and both lights will control the same light in the front. But I'm not going to do that, so I might hold off this wire, connect the LED bar to the ground wire in the front, and then this one should lead to this guy. No, ground wire probably to this guy right here, to this switch. I can turn on the battery, and then the ground should hit LED bar, should turn on. I think that's how it works. Alright, but I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so as I connect, I'm gonna do this. So put the ground wire back in. No harm done. Nothing on, right? You can see the rear of the car. Once I take the ground, like the battery wires are both connected to the battery. I'm thinking I just gotta put this towards the ground. Yeah, regardless, the ground. And you can see back there, if I take the ground out, right, lights off. I'm gonna touch it again to the ground. See that? Even this guy. Stay on and turn off. Stay on, turn off. If I leave him here, just like that, it will stay on over there. Check this out. See, the front is not even on. The reverse stays on, and they're stupid bright, both sides. So sorry about this, you guys, I get blind. If I go in, and you can see it's only turning on this guy, which I don't know why. It won't not turn on or off, it just stays on. But if I turn on my rockers on the bottom, see, like that, right? Check this out. So turn on, lights on, turn off, on, which I don't understand. Why is this guy staying on and this guy is not? So I'm going to figure out, maybe it could be the relay switch wrong. Well, I'm going to connect this guy to see what the LED bar will work, since he can turn on and off and that guy is not turning on or off. But it's gonna look pretty badass once it's fully installed. and see the bottom lights stay on, so I'm going to have to figure out what I can put to the switches so that it doesn't stay on, because right now it's probably draining my battery. So I'm going to figure out what I can do to eliminate that. Alright, so I'm going to connect this guy and see what turns him on. Alright, so I'm going to grab my wire to the LED bar. Just going to sit on the side. I'm going to grab my wires from here. And then right now I'm just going to pull it out just a little bit. So I'm going to plug it in and then see if it turns on. So I'm gonna put one wire in and I'm gonna test the other wire real quick. Okay, so I put it in. I just realized the car's not on, so it's not gonna do no harm. Switch is off. This wire also leads to the front. What I'm trying to think is, why is it turning on the rear consistently and not the front, which there are two different harnesses. As you can see, there are two different relays, and I hope it's not upside down or backwards. Well, I didn't connect the relays. It came the way it came from Amazon, and I just connected everything to myself. All right, moment of truth. I'm gonna put this in. Let's see what happens. All right, reverse still stays on. Front is off. So now let's go to the switch. Grab it real quick. Turn on the bars. Oh Jesus, that is bright. Illuminate the entire car. Look at that. Reverse stays on. Front stays off. Nicely done. So I wanted to have individual wires or plugs, this guy running to switch itself, but I think I can just run both wires and use these two switch for the LED bar and the LED grill, and then have them separately for reverse when I need him in reverse. But you're just draining my battery. Once again, let's turn this on real quick. Wow, now that is stupid bright. Oh Jesus, 52-inch LED bar, guys. That is stupid bright. And then you can see the front, a little 12-inch under the plates. Yes sir. Stupid bright, man. Just illuminating the car, and also my cargo box up top. I'm gonna get new tires, off-roading tires, and then some grills on the side or window visors. That's from here, man. Everything should be good. All gravy. Let's turn them off. If I kill the battery, I have to buy a new battery. But I'm still wondering, why are you guys still on if connected to the ground? Which makes no sense once you're wired up to the battery and then you're wired up. Why are you on? Hope you guys can help me out. But if I get this fixed before I post this video, I probably understood what happened already. Alright guys, so I figured it out. When I was looking into my wiring kit, now you see how the switches is not on, just the bottom and not the top. Check this out. So when I was looking at it on my wiring, I guess the relay yellow wire was actually the battery wire, and the red wire was the remote wire. So they had it backwards, which I didn't look into it at the relay. So there's nothing wrong with the relays, and there's nothing wrong with the wiring besides this one. So before, I was gonna cut the entire wire and then switch it just to one relay. I didn't want to do all that, so I just figured out maybe just this main wiring. When I looked into the relay, The yellow is connected to the battery, and the red is all by itself, which makes no sense. So what I've done was just cut and splice. This is not permanent, but I was just testing it. I just connected the wires together, put my batteries together, everything works good, and now I came upon this. Yes sir, check this out. My other option is, now I gotta figure out how to not waste the battery on this thing, because now this guy's just on and he's draining batteries, which I might have to connect it to a relay from inside the switch so that when I turn the ignition on, this guy turn on. So now I got my rockers and my reverse lights. Bam. On, off, on, off, on. You can see it right there too. It'll tell you if it's on or off. And then this guy is next. So that's gonna be my LED bar. So I get everything situated. My wiring's correct. I can put this guy back into the my kick panel. I can take him, put it back in there, and then take these wirings, tape them back up, and then I'm just gonna crimp these guys down, these two right here, make sure they're good, crimp them down, and then rewire them back up, and yeah, put it all back together, disconnect the battery so that it won't drain my battery, and then now I'm just waiting for my LED bar bracket that's coming in tomorrow. So I'm gonna put that in, and that's the last thing I should do. And then now I gotta figure out what's wrong with my car, because it's dead battery and my navigation screen is not turning on when I was trying to diagnose it to get the radio code, but I found that in the user manual. Alright guys, well, I'll be back. Alright guys, check this out. So I officially found out where to wire up my relay. So moving that aside, the LED bar is not going to get placed up on top soon, but check this out. So after I researched where to grab these wires from, and then the relay, I've left it where it's at because I assumed that that was the only relay box. It was in the front next to the battery, but that actually is one of the relay boxes under the hood of the MDX. So I ran both relays same way, just taped it up, and then I hooked up the ground wire, you can see right there, into this guy. Hold on, let me see. Oh, just like this. Alright, so what I did was take the relay, I bolted 2 screws, pushed it out, cut the little hole you seen prior, left it there. It is not connected to any battery, it's really just sitting there, so it was good. I wrapped up the tape around here, wired up the battery, the ground. Both wires are running right here. Splits off because I just wrapped them together, so it's alright. They have heat shrinks on them, so it's spread. Ran the ground wire because this wire is kind of big right here, and just ran it to these guys bolts. I can run the either or, they're both ground, so it's good. I left that there, and then I took the battery wire cable, ran both of them, both the fuses is right there. Yep, there we go, much better. Both fuses are sitting there in case I need to switch them out, transfer them. They're both batteries. The positives are sitting here in case I need to get to them if it pops. Taped them up, ran them both. I had to split the wires, splice it, and fused both wires, 1, 2, into a single wire. Zip tied it down, ran down all the way over here, and found out this another fuse box sitting on this side of the engine. Took me a while to read this because the front of that arrow was actually supposed to be facing this way. So as I was reading it, I was trying to figure out the fuses, which one to switch, the relay. So I drilled a hole into the box so that I can seal off the top in case there's a water leak. Water can run down that way. Took this fuse out. This is a micro 12-volt fuse, and the end of each switch is actually battery to ground wire, which you're not supposed to put that to. So you use the middle relay prongs are the one that you use when you turn on the car, switch on the relay. This is actually the headlight fog light, running daylight fog lights. Those are the one you use, either or. And I believe you can use, these are the front two headlight, left, right, and then you got the relay. So I just spliced the wires, ran it in the middle, forced this guy down there, and he's in there. So I'm about to plug this guy up over here, tape him so that he can be out the way and stop not dangling, and that should be it. So this should be good. And now I just got to figure out the distance of the LED bar, where to put it up on the I think it has to go in between the trimmings, because the trimmings are the spot that I would actually put next. Is where, ouch, oh, that's hurts. Okay, but anyways, I'm gonna have to remove this trimming right here, and I believe I'm gonna have to get in between this guy and put the bracket mounts, because I ordered different bracket mounts. This is a nightlight Ford Chevy bracket mount. Supposedly this guy from Amazon, and he said it's for our MDX Acura, fits here. So I can't put it here because it doesn't fit correctly in between the doors. So I'm assuming I'll have to put it right there inside of the trimming, just to have the good distance of it for the freaking LED bar. But that's the next step. I'm about to remove it just to check it, and probably tomorrow I'm gonna drill these holes up. Hopefully this is a good spot, and hopefully it's not hitting my airbags and anything like that, because the airbags are actually sitting right in between the doors, sitting here, airbags one, and it's pretty spacious away from the trimming of the shell of the car. But yeah, once I get it in, just gonna pop it, put the grommets, and that should be the end of the LED bar. Run the wires down, plug them up, hide these wires, flush them out, and then hit the plugs. This is where I set my plugs, right here. LED bar, front grille, and reverse light. That's it. And if you guys are wondering if you're putting your switch in the same spot, I advise you to move up the switch far close to the parking brake, because it will hit the back of the mount and you will have to recut it like I did. Alright guys, see you in a bit.